Alright, hello everybody. So this is going to be the evening analysis that I have for my pairs. Kind of acknowledging what went on through the day, and also seeing what we could be looking for come New York session, and preparing for in the morning as well. So first things first is GU. So we were on this overall uptrend. Right, so we were anticipating more selling bias, and we really wanted to see a retrace to 38.2%, where it kind of consolidated to the left area right here, but it did not, especially after this candle closed as a wick. We went down to lower time frames, saw that it was starting to make a support and also a candlestick pattern as well. Started making a higher low point right here, better seen on M5, and then it continued up. Now, it was making higher low points the entire time, so higher low point. This is just kind of all consolidation. Higher low point, right? That we can all see, and then nice higher low point right here, and then take off, and we almost hit negative 27%, our main projection for H1. Our higher time frame projection, such as H4, is pretty close to it. So at this time, we are still looking for that push up. It has a lot of volume behind it, so these are just very just minor retraces. So, and look how much volume there is behind this candle as well. So very possible the fact that we are going to hit obviously TP1, and then really seeing if we can hit TP2, which is only 30 pips away, which is really nothing for GU. So GJ. So we acknowledge the fact that we were in this 23.6% area. We can actually go ahead and modify our fibs a bit for this H1 or H4 bias, because we know all of this was just 23. And if we look now, there is some confluence right around 38.2% with this minor support area. So yeah, it could break this trend line, or it could actually respect this trend line and continue up. Now, on these lower time frames such as H1, we're still kind of keeping a bias, and we wanted to be very cautious around it because it was at 23.6%. Right, it was looking like it was respecting it, but then it formed a nice little resistance area right here. Right, and we can even see a ascending triangle right in here. So it was maintaining all these higher low points. It never broke this main resistance area that it needed to break for us to really change this lower time frame bias, even though we had all of this area right here and this minor break. But that minor break we really can't see on these higher time frames. So we actually maintain this downtrend structure, maintain this lower high point, and let's see if we can break it and get to 38.2% now on this time frame. Now, because of where it's at, I would kind of just monitor it more off of M30 and H1, just because of we are trying to get to that 38.2% mark. We haven't even respected 23.6% on this H4 time frame yet, so yeah, that's obviously the first marker is going to be 23.6%. Let's see what it is around there, and then our next main mark is 38.2% at the minimum. All right, moving on to AU. Wow, AU disrespected everything. So we were on this short-term sell bias right in here. Yeah, all it really did was respect support and took off. Yeah. This is really essentially 23.6% off of H1. So if it is H1, we are going to be kind of correlating M15, M5 majority. So after it kind of like broke this area right in here, this right here really could have been the sell bias. So either a stop loss right below this area, or technically the proper stop loss would be right in here. And then, yeah, catching 40 pips off of AU. That's good. Now that entire move kept on pushing up off of M15, M30. I'll say more M15. Kept on pushing up to where, 50 pips in total, down to 28, and then could have re-entered and analyzed there, and then hit TP 2, even just simply based off these lower time frames already. TP1, sorry, off these lower time frames, and yeah, that would have been sweet. But on these lower time frames, we still have not really made a lower high point, even after this point. Yeah, so this is just kind of like a minor, or it's more like continuation. And if we looked over to the left too, it kind of explains why we did have all this area here. So yeah, even though we might have a short-term bias on these lower time frames, we are always being cautious to see what these higher time frames are doing. We don't want to keep our short-term bias for a long time at all. All right, we want to try and get rid of it as quickly as possible. All right, but keep it right and get rid of it at the right time. All right. So going on to US30, we were more or less on these lower time frames, simply because we did not have a higher low point yet. We just marked off some areas that it could have like some struggle with, but we were looking at M30 time frame, so we did actually hit that right there. So we can actually probably draw a nice trend line opportunity. Let's just see. Yeah, it's all about kind of like just playing around with it. Yeah, okay. I like that. That looks good. Not really cutting too much price. And it's also still showing. So yeah, we are still maintaining this uptrend structure. Realistically, at this point in time, it has kind of, right now, I would still say break this area right here. I mean, we are at this strong level of resistance. I mean, we did close above it with a nice strong bullish candle. So I'm just going to delete that. That way we're not having too much on the charts, because we already know the fact that where we are at on these higher time frames. All right. So yeah, it could still respect this area, but see the amount of volume that there is behind it. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. We want it to at least come down to 38.2%. Or if you modify it now, we are kind of like outside of these confluence zones. There is still some little confluence around 38.2% and negative 20, and not negative 23.6%. But yeah, we haven't even done anything yet really on these lower time frames or these higher time frames. So that's about it. Yeah. So yeah, just, be cautious, especially with these short-term biases. And that's about it. So I will catch you guys in the morning. Peace.